Hello friends, this is Barnabas Johnson and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So this video is the first Q&A or interview video of our channel and I'm super excited to share with you. I could not wait till this far, but I had to college stuffs and everything. I got busy and all, but thank God, God's grace, I was able to complete this video. So please make sure you watch till the end, because this interview is with one of the humblest person I know. Her name is Abdela Elizabeth Philip. So she's a wonderful Christian content writer. She's a good YouTuber, and she's also a wonderful artist. You can check out her paintings on Instagram account at by Abdullah, and you can also connect with her through Instagram, and also you can subscribe to her channel. And I'm gonna put all the links about her social media or YouTube channel in the description, so please make sure you check it out and please watch till the end, because we are talking about her struggles. She's talking about her struggles, her initiative moments, all the situations she was in, and even about her personal life and all struggles, and it's gonna be inspiring for you guys too. We have specially talked about the series called Tales to Testimony, done by her in her YouTube channel, which has been encouraging a lots of people, thousands of people around the world. So please make sure you watch till the end, and if you have any suggestions, if you have any comments, please let me know in the comment section down below. If you love this video, please do make sure that you like this video, and if you want more videos like this, please encourage me by subscribing to this channel and tapping that bell icon. So watch this video, sit back and relax, enjoy and have fun. God bless you. Thank you so much, Abdela Chechi, for joining and accepting my humble request. I actually didn't think that you're gonna even see my text. And lots of people don't see the text requests, but you saw, and I'm really honored by that. And so it's a great opportunity for me, and it's the second time though, but it's with a YouTuber, and it's with someone someone doing a great work. So I'm really nervous about that though. Even though I thought you were gonna not see my text, but I gave a shot and bam, you saw it, and I'm really lucky about that. So really blessed moment. So what do you think, how do you feel right now, because you've been taking a lot of interviews, and I guess this is your first time giving an interview. So how do you feel?
Starting with, this is not the first time I'm giving an interview, but I rightly said, I guess this was something God ordained, because I don't see my request messages, because I never get notified. I have to go manually search if I have a request, and that I rarely do. And I guess that was one of the days I was doing it and I saw your message. So I'm glad about that. Thank you for just reaching out and starting to do what you're doing. And I'm excited to see where we go ahead with this conversation.
Yes. So you're a YouTuber, okay, and most of the, as much as I know, as much as I have contacts, most of the people doesn't choose as a YouTuber, or even if they do, they go for a secular. But I really love the fact that when people use their, like YouTuber or music or any type of things, any type of artistic things, when they use it for God, use it for the kingdom, I really love that fact. And that's what I found in you. And you're a YouTuber and you have nearly about 4K subscribers. But what most excites me is that you, as an Indian Christian, and as a Indian Christian YouTuber with a Christian channel that inspires people. Even that's what my aim is to with this channel. But could you tell us what inspired you to become a YouTuber?
I would say I became a YouTuber by accident because there is no fancy story behind. To be very honest, I always wanted to do YouTube, but I always limited myself, thinking that I don't have the camera, I don't have the lights, and I don't have the mic. And above all that, even if I can rent all that, I don't know how to edit. So in my head, I limited myself and never had the courage to go ahead and start doing YouTube. And so much so happened that in But something like what people know me most about is from me doing this interview chat show called Tales to Destiny. And it was something that was in my heart from a long, long years, because I knew these people running on the front for Jesus so up close and personally. I knew, and there was a life beyond their stage life. And that was so inspiring to me to know them so close and so inspired by it. And I always wanted to do it. I always wanted to be doing something like Tales of Destiny. But what happened in 2022, the first lockdown, when the pandemic hit all of us, we were all home, and all my guests were also home. And that's when the birth of Tales to Destiny completely changed, and it came out as it came out. But it was an Instagram live back then. And how it became a YouTube video, also because a little thanks go to Instagram as well for it. Because back then, Instagram didn't have the option to save your live as your IGTV. So once the live is done, the content is just gone. And even from my first video, people would have lost, like people would join and they would notified and they would have missed the initial part of it. And I saw in the comments, hey, is it a way that you can save this? Or, oh, I missed that part. I wanted to hear the complete thing. And when that request came in, we got to know, okay, there is a way that we can save video that we just shot. And then we saved it, and we put it on YouTube, because that was the another medium where you can put a video on. And all this again was before my idea, was my daddy's idea, Pastor Amit Kamle. He told me, hey, Bachu, we can do this. Let's take the live video down. Once it's done, we can save it, and then we can put it on YouTube for people to watch who want to watch later. And that's how accidentally the YouTube channel started. And for me to have the realization of it, that is when I started having views and comments and increase in subscribers on YouTube. Then suddenly I realized that I always wanted to have a YouTube channel, but I never had the courage to go start it, or didn't knew how to like go through or pass through this thing. And it just happened, and I suddenly was a YouTuber without me realizing it. I tell you, the same article that you read about 4 best Christian Indian YouTubers to follow was a shock for me when I saw my name over there. I'm like, freak, I'm a YouTuber now. But I guess that is how God deals when you don't have courage for your dream or desire. If it's God given, you take the little step that you think you can, and God pushes you way further than you can think or imagine. I think if not for God and if not for Daddy Pastor Amit, I don't think I would have been able to start the YouTube channel that I did. And I guess just that one step of obedience just led me to start it. So was there an inspiration behind starting the YouTube channel? No, per se, because it happened as an accident. But is there an inspiration, or is there a motivation to keep doing what I'm doing in a certain way that glorifies God? Obviously, yes, that is there.
Yes, so everybody watching us, I want to encourage you, like how Abdela started. You can also start with nothing, and God will give you everything needed. And I know most of us, or whoever's watching us, most of the people think, I don't have a camera, I don't have a good quality mobile phone or mobile video cam. And most of the people, they just step back on doing something very much, could be something very great if they had done, but they step back. Now this is an inspiration for them, that go and do it what you are inspired to. We're going to do it what God has called to for you to do. And as we all struggle when we start something, and you must have it's a thing that you must also have struggled, and I want to know about what were your struggles, what were your initial struggles when starting a YouTube channel, and who all supported you, and how did it feel, and how did you face everything, the way you faced it, and like, was there some, could be there some part of your life when you thought, oh no, I cannot do it, but there could be some supporters from your life that inspired you, that encouraged you to do the channel. And I want to know everything about your struggles before you started the channel, and while you're doing it right now. I know, whatever you're facing, I want to know about it.
I wish I had a great struggle story to tell you. You would have got great views. But to be honest, when I started, there was absolutely no struggle. I didn't knew what struggle was, because what I did was in Instagram interview, and just the struggle of editing it and putting it up was on Pastor Amit back then, and he did amazing job with that. So initially, I never knew there was a struggle to be a YouTuber, or I knew I need people support, or I guess one person support was enough for me at that time. That again, I would always say that I'm so blessed to have the kind of parents that I have, that just launched me into my God-given calling. And that's exactly what happened in the initial. So there was no struggle in doing the season 1 of Tales to Destiny. But there is a but, and it's a big one. When I tried to do season 2 of Tales to Destiny, um, was I still able to do? Could I be still doing the same IG like that I did in season 1? Yes, I could, and maybe I could have gotten more guests, because life can go international. If I have to do in-person shoot, I have to travel international, which your sister-in-law has not that money yet to do that, but someday. But having said the funny part, when I thought about season 2, I just told myself, firstly, I never thought there would be a season 2. But then God kept putting in my heart that there has to be one. And I went ahead with season 2. And when I was doing season 2, I told myself that the word says, and in Jesus, in the kingdom, we go from glory to glory. So I didn't want it to limit where I was in doing what I was doing and the way that I was doing. I wanted to up it a level, give God and give people skillfully and in the best manner. And that's when I decided, okay, if I have a season 2, it would be an in-person shoot, which would be further edited and then put it up on the YouTube channel with complete post-production and all of that stuff. And when I'm dreaming of all of this, okay, I'm still the person with no camera, no mics, no lights, no editing skills whatsoever. And I just say that this is how I want to do it. And I remember, though I started doing the season 2 in October, started posting season 2 in October, mid-September 2021, I started the shooting in March. And I also knew that I was procrastinating, saying, I don't know when to do, how to do, where to start, what to start, and all of that. And that was the time that a few of the people that I knew I want for the next season were already on my list. And Sam Alex was one of those people. So when we got to know that Sam is leaving for US, and I said, Sam, hey, I want to do an interview with you. But because he was leaving to US, he had continued shoot one after another, people inviting him. And I had actually lost the hope that this would happen, because not that I was like, hey, he's not paying attention to me, but because I was his friend as well, I could see how much he's trying to be everywhere and doing things for everybody before he could leave and do things with Bridge, do things with Outcast and Spikenut and other churches, and 10,000 music videos which people wanted to do just before he flies out. So I, as a friend, I could see that he's like day in, day out, and he was also preparing for the season 3 of Bridge Music. And there was a lot on his plate. And I honestly thought that this would not happen. I would give up. And we would give up, and maybe next time, next season, whatever it is. But so happened that I guess 2 nights before he was leaving to US, we had an event of Bridge called the Breaking Alabaster Jar, which happened this year as well. It was in Hyderabad, and once the event got over, and day after he's leaving, and after everything, we are about to head for the dinner, and Sam comes to me and he says, "Hey, Abdela, let's do the interview tomorrow." And I'm like, tomorrow? I in my mind, like I have not prepared, I have not seen this season, I don't know how to do it. And he just says, let's do it tomorrow. And I was like, Sam, tomorrow? It's like, yeah, tomorrow, day after I'm leaving, tomorrow is the only time. Morning I'm shooting something else. Late night, if it works for you, we can do it.
It's like asking a worship leader to sing a song somewhere.
I know, and because he said that, and I was like, I don't want to give up on this. I just said okay to Sam without knowing anything about it. And in that dinner, I was my mind was completely not on the food, to be very true. It was a bunch of people, bunch of us, like 30, 40 of us who went for the dinner. And I went to Steven Nijura from Spikenard, and I went and asked, hey Steve, if you're still in the city, can I use your camera for a shoot tomorrow? He said, yeah, go ahead and do it. But there was nobody to shoot that. I got the camera, I can't shoot it on my own. Then I asked a guy from my church, hey, if he can help me with the shoot. He said yes. Then I had a lapel mic, one I had, and one I asked my pastor if he has a mic. And that's how in less than 18 hours, I planned a shoot. And then I had to make questions. And because I take assumption, I put it a story on Insta. And everything, and I guess we started the shoot next day. There was a lot of mishap because we shot half of the interview, and then we realized Sam's mic was off. And then we had to do the entire half of the interview again. I remember it was somewhere March 8th, 9th, something like this time last year. And we finished the shoot at 3 in the morning. And I am so grateful for Sam. Like, he could have said a no, and I would have absolutely been okay with it. And I am not that a big deal any which way that I have arrived that he has to say yes or I'll get upset. But I guess Sam is somebody who really values friendship, and I know that he did it basically and completely because he honors my friendship and honor the person that I am. So I was very grateful for just the yes and him staying so late in the night to just do it. He was so tired. If you know Sam, you can see out of the interview. Like, people who know him, and they saw the promo and they were like, was he sleepy? I was like, yes, he was done full. Like, he hasn't slept on that day from like 2-3 days, and he still came in with the interview. And that happened great. But I feel like if that push was not there, I wouldn't have started even the season 2. Like, knowing that Sam is moving out of the country and I can't go to Palm Springs and shoot for sure. As of now, I need a visa, I need a ticket, and all of that stuff. So I did the first shoot and I got done with it. And then I took a break because my wedding was approaching. And then this next one I did after my wedding was done in June or July, and then done the third shoot, and then I started doing the episode.
First question, did you ever cried in between the takes or like in the behind the scenes, like, oh my God, what is happening? It's not happening right.
No, I never cried. Thankfully, I never cried. But because one, I always had all my guests were so amazing. And one of the things, I don't know, I would be maintaining in further seasons or not, but my heart behind season 1 and season 2 was doing it with people that I have a relationship with. I did it with all the guests that was on board on Tales to Destiny. I had a relationship, I had a friendship, and out of that, it was birthed out. So even for the first time, when the half interview went by, I'm like, what? And I didn't want it to do it again. And Sam was like, no, listen, we can do it again. I was like, you already know the questions. It's not that way. But him like putting me down and making me understand. The second episode was with Ricky. He was like, "Hey, we didn't get camera." He said, "You have an iPhone. We can manage on the iPhone. Let's shoot." We did it in his house. For the third episode, I did with Pastor Prijit from Bangalore, the Bible Center, and that was the first episode that I was doing with three angles, and I only had one camera. He said, "Hey, you can use my church camera," and he made me use his church camera and his church lights, and his entire church worked for me for that shoot, and immediately I was so moved. That was one day that I got really emotional. How much you see God's favor, and how much if you allow to see God's love through people can emit out. Like I was so moved by the way Pastor Priji and his church treated me. I felt like. No, I am the guest and they are the host, where it was the other way around. And it's just that it just went by so smooth because every time I had a guest who would just be there amazingly. So I guess whenever something like interview or something you're doing, you have to pick prayerfully if you're not picking out of relationship, because a lot can go up and down on basis of who your guest is. So yeah, so for me, like the first episode I didn't had anything. By the second episode for our wedding, one of the Edison cousin gifted us a Rode Wireless Go mic set. So I had my first set of mic, which I used for the all the interviews after that for Tales of Destiny. And that was so easy. You plug in a mic and it's like that chotu of a thing, and it's doing everything for you. That was very cool for me. And I guess by the fourth episode, I had my first light, which was my own. I got a Godox L6 SL60, and by the sixth episode, I had the Alada light, and it was just crazy how God was ordaining it. There were times when I used to financially think, because I was putting in, to be said, the money that I had, which again, I don't know from where it came, because I quit my job before my wedding, which was in March 2021. And that's from when I started shooting, to renting cameras, to renting tripods, renting lights back then, to traveling. For a lot of shoots, I had to travel from here to there, and it did cost money. And there were, I guess, initially I never asked people if they wanted to sew. And then I believe again in the third episode, by the end of it, Pastor Priji says something, hey, if you believe in this, you should sew into it because it causes a blessing to you. And just the principle he shared of sewing in that 2 minutes made the whole change for me. And it's not that people started sewing majorly after that didn't happen, but just about somebody being your guest saying that was so healing for me and so restoring for me. So as per se, coming back to your question, was there a struggle initially? No. Was there a struggle, small, big and all? But I saw it all come to pass. Like, I guess I got emotional when the season was done, and I had to reflect back. That was the time I got emotional, and I was sad. God, I don't know how it happened, but it happened so beautiful. Like if I look to it, I don't know if I could create. I'm just the content creator. I can just bring content to you, but everything else comes with God. What I've seen with this season is, if God gives you a vision, the provision is truly inside of it, and it has lifted my faith to do things beyond what I'm doing right now. I have gone a step higher in doing the things that I am. So, yeah.
It did inspire me too, because in my startings, when I used to, I started my YouTube channel, my first YouTube channel as a musician, and I also didn't have anything. I just used to make raw videos, and then how people, how God works through people. It really is amazing stories, and hearing from you also have inspired me in to more that inspired me, and has given me a hope that I'll also be advanced like you have. And that's why I want to ask a fun question. You spoke about a lot of people who inspired you, who supported you. Okay, if you could if you were not a YouTuber today, okay, what would you be? Or maybe, or you can also say, if you want to be a someone else for one day, okay, that could be also a question. If you wanted to be someone else, not a YouTuber but someone else, who would be and why?
For the people who don't know already, apart from being a YouTuber and a content creator, I'm an artist. I paint. I do acrylic on canvas. That would be something that I would be doing. If I would want to be any other person, changing my lives with somebody, I would say no, because I'm very secure, and I very well know that I'm called to be Abdela Elizabeth Philip, and I absolutely don't want to be anybody else, because you don't know what the shoe they are walking in. So better don't want to be putting your feet in theirs. So I know what my feet and my shoe looks like, and I'm grateful for the fit that I have.
That's the best question I ever heard of this question. Sorry, that's the best answer I ever heard for this question. That's the right thing. God has made us in a perfect place. God has, kept us in a perfect place, and we are in our perfect place. Now if we change with someone, that's not the right answer, right? You did a great job on that answer. So your most viewed video, highest viewed video is called "Jesus Is Our Similarity," which is about your wedding day, your precious moments, and that beautiful event where you and Ebisen Bhaiya became one, and it was really a beautiful moment. I watched it, and I personally got emotional. Starting was emotional, and the center was emotional. At the end, I got some little fun takes, and I'm sure, and also I'm sure that you also check your old videos for that nostalgia, and remember what happened while the video shooting, what happened behind the scenes. And I want to especially ask about this video, Jesus is Our Similarity. And also you guys are completing, I guess you guys are completing 1 year this coming month of May, I guess, and God bless your relationship. But how do you feel right about this now? 1 year is completing, and how do you feel about this moment? You're completing 1 year with Edison. You came a long way, and you're getting success in what you're doing. So what are those precious moments you still remember vividly? And talk about a little bit behind the camera scenes too, about this, especially about this Jesus Is Our Similarity video.
Okay, that is a lot of questions crumbled into one. Okay, starting with the wedding video, Jesus is Our Similarity. I would start with the name, right? Why I gave the tagline, Jesus is Our Similarity. From the okay, it can take a little long. Is it fine? Because
Yeah,
I don't
absolutely.
know.
No.
I
No,
don't
it's
know how
actually
to.
nice title. I think it's a nice quote. Jesus is our similarity. That's a very beautiful quote. I really love that.
Okay, so I'll talk about this. That quote is it did came to us in a very nice moment. It came to us when we had to see uh, a very hard time. So me and Emerson, we got started knowing each other in March. Sorry, we first met in March 2020 for a day, but then he moved to Hyderabad in July 2020, and around August is when he asked me. And so our wedding is we put it. I won't tell the wedding story, but we put it in this way that our wedding is an arranged marriage, but we arranged it. Because he asked, and I asked him to talk to his parents, and then I talked to my parents, and the parents talked to each other, and everybody said yes, and then we started dating. So that's how it started. And from the first day of date, which was August 12th, 2020, we knew that in November we are getting engaged. So it was nothing of like, oh, what will happen for this? Like, it was how an arranged marriage setup looks like. And we were just getting to know each other. And within 2 months, we were engaged. And I guess we were in Delhi. So me and Emerson, we are very strong individuals. He has done great things. He, being a US citizen, left the country, heard the voice of God, moved to India. His story is another incredible story. I don't know if I could do something like what he did. I have moved states. I have moved from my parents' house to Hyderabad. I moved all by myself and came here. But I don't know if you have I have the courage to leave a country and go to another country where you don't know absolutely what you're gonna do, but because God said it, you just go. I don't know how ready I am for that, but he's that person. So we are individually doing such great things, such a big part of whatever we are called to do. And when such big individuals come together, we had our own differences, and we every now and then we would be like, "Oh my goodness, we are so different from each other," and and I also got to know we got engaged in November and we got married in May, and we had like 6 months to go of courtship period. And I got to know why it's called courtship. Why is that period called the building of knowing each other and all? We in January went to Delhi for SOAR, which is held in face-to-face foundation for the people who don't know. And we went there, and one of the days in Delhi, we were in Connaught Place, it's the central Delhi, and we were going through a metro station. I don't know, something happened, and Emerson just told me, "Hey, we are so different. I don't know how it'll just go." And I didn't utter a word at that moment back to him. But inside my heart, I was like, Jesus. I was like, Ishu Papa, this is the last thing I want to hear. I just got engaged to this guy. And then this is what I get to hear. It's not a pleasant thing. It'll hit your emotions all corners. And as we were getting out of Rajiv Chowk, Rajiv Chowk has a circle which is called the CP Circle, and there was somebody playing. It was night time, evening time, and there was somebody playing guitar and singing. From afar, I could hear his sound, and I don't. Obviously, he was singing a secular song, but I don't know why I was very much inclined to just go to him. And I said, "Hey, can we go towards wherever the sound or the guy is singing?" So we went, and I stood there. There was something about that guy. I just wanted to pray for him. I stood from afar and I prayed, and I also wanted to bless him financially because he kept his uh, guitar case outside for people to give whatever they wanted to, and I wanted to give. But at that time, I didn't have cash on me. I only had cards and GPay and all that stuff. And me being individual, it took me a long time to ask Emerson for money or be okay with him paying things for me. And I want to give, but I don't have the money. And then he said, "Hey, should we give him something?" It's like, "Yeah." And then he just gave me his wallet and he said, "Hey, whatever you feel like, we just give." And he had cash at that time. And then I took out a few notes and I just gave it to them. And I just walked back from past that situations, and we were walking and holding each other's hand and going back to the metro. And I heard the audible voice of God saying that your differences can be many, but your similarity is stronger because your similarity is Jesus. And I was done, and I was crying there because my heart and my spirit needed it so much. And I remember at that moment I held his hand and said, "Hey, listen, our differences can be many, but our similarity is always going to be stronger, and our similarity is Jesus." And I remember we both got emotional. We both hugged each other there, and that became the solid foundation of our relationship to sustain. So for people, it just looks like a cool line to hear Jesus is our similarity, but for us it became the reality where we knew that we have differences, and going down the lane of doing life we would always have differences. But above everything, Jesus being our similarity would stand out. There are things when we both are big on giving, me and Edison. So whenever something like that happened and our hearts are together in this, I can see God working in it. So many things. When it comes to Jesus, I feel like we're together. People say, hey, the way you guys worship, you guys are so similar and all of that. I guess Jesus is the only similarity that anybody needs in their relationship, and you can build from their own and go forward. Speaking about the wedding day, again, the wedding video was very special to us. I remember when we saw it, after it was done and released, was in our honeymoon in July or somewhere. We were in a bus. I remember when we saw it, we were in a bus back to Delhi from Manali, and we were seeing it, and we both started crying in the bus, because we were hearing in our airports, so people would be like not knowing what's happening, but we were getting so emotional by the end of it. And I'm like, people would think these two people, ya to ye log jhagda karke aaye, or something wrong has happened. Both of them were sitting and crying, but because it was a night bus, nobody like really noticed. But that's how beautiful that was, and I wanted the name to be not be something like Abdela Elizabeth's wedding, or the highlights, or which it is. But whenever I go back to the video, I wanted to see that Jesus is our similarity. That is the wedding favors also that we gave to people who came for our wedding, which says that our differences are many, but our similarity is Jesus, with a photo of us as a fridge magnet. And it was a beautiful day. I always say this to people, my wedding was the best wedding I went to. I only had 20 people attending because of the pandemic. Only sad part about my wedding would be Eberson's parent was not there, and nobody from Eberson's side was there. He was just by himself, which I felt a little bad about. I guess before our wedding, was when the second wave hit the country, and US closed his borders, so his parents could not travel to India. So that was the only down part for me from the wedding. But even so, God made it so beautiful, and it was such a day. Do I go back and see the video? No, I guess I only saw it once. But I guess in this anniversary, we should like go back and watch. That's one of the things to do on the day of the anniversary. We'll go back and look at the video. And okay, your last question of how it's been to be married. It's gonna be 10 months on the coming 26. And I now realize when people say that time chala gaya aur pata bhi nahi chala. So it did like hits me when I get to know, oh, I'm gonna be like, it's gonna be 1 year that I'm married to this guy, and I don't know where it has gone. But one of the things that I strongly see is the faithfulness of God being channelized through our lives, and God's favor in abundance that we have received and saw in our lives. And another thing that I want to tell the listener is that a lot of people feel that marriage limits you, or you get limited by marriage and it will stop your dreams or stop your goal. Listen, I did my season 2 after I got married. I traveled, I did the things. I have only grown with the support of knowing that I have Emerson, knowing that if I'm traveling and going out, I come back to a home where I have someone waiting for me, and that feeling is absolutely amazing. And just to do the season 2, I don't think I would have done. I know I have initially spoken about Pastor Amit and everybody in Studio Portico, but I don't think it would have been the way that it happened without Emerson being with me, saying, hey, you can go, hey, you can do this. So it's always great to have a partner who elevates you in your God-given dreams. So never look at marriage or look at the covenant that God has kept for you as a burden and a stoppage for you. It's only going to elevate you. It's only going to take you the next step. It's only going to open more doors for you because initially it was doors open for one person. Now you have access to doors open for two people, and that's amazing. So yeah, I guess I answered all your questions in that.
Yes, you did, and I'm glad that I asked this question, and I'm super glad that you answered this question, because it really is. I mean, whoever is watching, us, it is gonna be a blessing for them when they hear about this story, and especially about this quote that Jesus is our similarity, and it applies to every relationship, not just one. I would say every relationship that Jesus is our similarity. Even in a family, everybody is from a different generation and different thoughts, but a similarity when we come to a church, all of us comes to an equal point that Jesus is our similarity. I really love that. So it's we're gonna wind up with one question, and that is that for the inspiring to inspire some of the new generation that's coming up and who wants to do this type of channels or anything they want to do, especially those who want to do content creators. What would you advise, or what type of advices would you give to them if they are coming to a field of being a Christian content creator? What advice would you give?
Just do it. Just do it. There is no better piece of advice that I can give. There is no planning or plotting that you can do. Just do it. And one of the key to grow is consistency. But don't, again, beat yourself to be consistent. Uh, that is there. But the first thing to start with is just do it. Don't There is never a perfect camera, there is never a perfect lighting, there is never a perfect mic, there is never a perfect finance, there's never your kind of perfect that you will meet. So just do it because you're called to do it. Just trust God's calling over your life. If God has given you that dream, if God has given you that vision, it's not to keep limited. Don't think that, hey, I don't have the confidence that Abdela has, or I don't have the connections that Abdela has. She knew all the people she interviewed. Listen, all you need is Jesus, and you already have him. And it didn't happen with Abdela like overnight. She was like everybody knew her, and she had a right. Uh, there are a lot of times in my life that I have asked questions. I'm not a worship leader. I'm not a big preacher and all of that stuff, or I'm not a musician. To be having the kind of contact and kind of formation that I have with these people, a lot of times I don't even realize why all these people knew me. Like now, I have a label of doing content creating and having a YouTube channel. But earlier than this, I had this question. But I feel like God's eyes are on you. And I've always learned this in my life that even when you grow, even when you grow big and people know you, one of the things that is core to me and I believe and I remember is people want you now because God wanted you first. And that's just the grounding part that keeps my feet still touching the ground. That whatever it is, no matter like 4K subscribers on YouTube, to be honest, it's not a big deal. But I guess when I hit 1 million or 1 trillion, nobody have hit, but amen to that. Even then, I would want to know that all this happened because there was one person who saw me first, was my God. Even before my name was out, even before people wanted to interview me, even before anything could happen, even before anything I could dream came into existence, there was one person called Jesus, and he wanted me, and that's what made the whole difference. So, just when you grow, this is when you grow. Just remember that. For now, I would just say, please step out, take your phones, take your cameras, take your pen, take your paper, and just do it. Yeah.
Yes, thank you so much for spending about an hour with me doing this interview. And
Sorry, I know I took a long time with the
no, no, it was worth that 1 hour. Whoever watches this whole video, it is gonna be worth for them. Because there's a lot of encouragement and there's a lot of stories that could inspire people, and to know, as you said, let's do it. That's the thing. And yes, first person to I texted was you, and you accepted my request, and that's kind of a let's do it thing for me. So that's my first let's do it thing in my this new YouTube channel. I'm really glad that you spent a lot of time talking about your life and shared everything. Thank you so much. So really, and I hope you do more and you bless more people. And I get to hear, whenever I go to some places, I'm gonna hope, and I know that people are gonna say, hey, do you know Abdela Elizabeth Philip? And then I'm gonna say, yes, I interviewed her. So it's a really nice moment for me. Thank you so much for joining. God bless you.
Thank you so much for having me. But what you're doing is great. Keep doing it. Keep knowing that God is involved in this for you and with you, and He'll always be there before you and with you and through you in all that you do. Thank you for people who took out the time to watch this. We are grateful that you did that. And please subscribe to Barnabas' channel and whatever he's doing, and in the little to big way that you can support him, do support him, whether it comes financially. If you say that money is something that you can't do, please like, share, and subscribe. It's all free. It won't cost anything. So please do that. And God bless you, bro, and all that you're doing. It was a
Yes.
good time talking to you.
Yes, that's what I missed. I'm gonna put your YouTube link to us in the description. So go and follow Abdela Elizabeth Philip, and make sure you subscribe to her channel and listen to her video. Watch her videos and get inspired through her season. Through her series called Tales to Testimony. So take care, everybody. God bless you all.